welcome back to my channel. This is Nasu with Fight for Kidneys. Again, today I want to thank you each and everyone who has been subscribing, liking, and commenting. It's always a pleasure to hear from you guys and to see that you're following me, just to be here to learn about the whole thing about kidney health. Before we start, let me remind you that the two main causes of kidney damage or kidney disease is high blood pressure and diabetes. And we all have control. We can control or prevent our kidneys from getting sick or getting damaged by controlling our blood sugar and our blood pressure. If you still don't know how to do those things, click the link above for blood pressure and high blood sugar. Today, I'm here to talk about a topic that most of you, all of us, are shy about talking. We are shy about talking about it. We don't want to talk about end of life. It's something that we are all scared about, and when we hear or we see that somebody is about to get there or somebody has passed on, we get so scared and worried. And when we hear a lot of people are dying, we get scared about it. But what I'm here to talk about is about advanced directives and what it is. And this is a document that is so important for all of us to have, even when just to plan for the future and to be prepared in case we cannot speak for ourselves. If something happens, we cannot speak for ourselves. So what exactly is advanced directives? Advanced directives, it's like a legal document that allows the doctors and healthcare provider provide the best care to you when you can, during crisis or when you cannot speak for yourself. So you're giving them orders, or you're giving them the rights to take care of you and to a certain level, or what exactly do you want them to do for you when you're not able to make those decisions for yourself, because either you cannot speak for yourself when a crisis happens, either you get so sick you cannot make those decisions in your own right mind. There are two forms of advanced directives, and these are the ones where there's one, the durable power of attorney. This is where you decide when you're healthy, when you can speak for yourself, to choose somebody that can make that decision for you if you're not able to make those decisions for you. And the other one is a living will, that it's written also, and that one, they go by that paper. It's not somebody saying this is what they said they want to be done. This is you saying, have already written it down and say this is exactly what I want or I don't want. So most people wonder who can be a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney can be your spouse, your children, a relative. It can be your a cousin, uncle. It can be your own brother, sister. And if it's for the children, of course, if they are younger children, underage children, their parents have to make those decisions. So what are the things that you need to, so what covers, or what are the things that are people can see? So when you have advanced directives or a living will, it says the things that you might say. For instance, you might say, if my heart stops, I do not want to be resuscitated. That means I do not want any compression, I don't want any CPR. But you may say, hey, I want, or say you're brain dead, you might say, hey, I don't want you guys to give me, extend my life. I might not need breathing, a machine to breathe for me. You might say, some people might choose and say, hey, I do not want blood transfusion. People might say, hey, if my heart stops or something is wrong with my heart, say they might think you need a heart bypass or bypass surgery. Some people might choose that they don't want that. Say you had a heart attack and you choose now you need a heart bypass and bypass surgery, and you might decide, I do not want that. So sometimes people can say in their living will, they can decide they do not want CPR if they have a heart attack. They might say they don't want tube feeding if they are unable to feed themselves. They do not want any artificial breathing if they can breathe on their own. They might say they don't want blood transfusion if they have lost so much blood. They might say they do not want surgery, or they might say they might not want dialysis if for whatever reason they have to have dialysis to live that long. So those are the things that people might decide that they don't want all of those. All they might want some and not the other. So that helps to dictate exactly what you want in your life if you can be able to live, or if you cannot make those decisions for you. So why do we advocate, or why do we ask for those advanced directive? It's not a government requirement, it's a personal requirement. And why do we ask for those things? Or why is it so important for people to have those that paperwork or that information ready and prepared in advance? It's because sometimes we don't want to leave our loved ones making those decisions for us or for you. It's the most hardest decision anybody can be, it's the most hardest decision to make for somebody. So because we are human, we make those decisions, and we might say, if say you had something and the people say, oh, do not do CPR on that person, or don't do CPR on my mom, don't do this for me. Probably you're gonna live there saying, if, or you have children and one child is saying this and the other one is saying this, and then here they are, the providers, they're like, okay guys, we have to take care of this person, but we need a decision. What are we doing, But at the end of the day, the provider will be there to sustain, to keep you alive till the family can decide what they want. But it's that, the agony of where one person is saying this, the other person is saying that. So it's already out there that you say, this is exactly what I expect. The other thing is to knowing what kind of quality life, deciding what kind of quality life, what do you term as quality life? And most people, those are the discussion when I'm bringing this topic during these holidays. I know holidays is not the best time to discuss about end of life, but unfortunately that's when family gets together, and most people tend to meet a year that people can say, hey, we need to discuss this, or you as the person need to discuss this. And sometimes people look at it and think advanced directives are for the old people. No, advanced directive can be for anybody, especially if you're an adult and making those decisions. I don't think the kids can make those decisions. That is when the class is alive. But for adult people, we can be able to make those decisions and let people be there to make those decisions. The other question is, if you don't have advanced directives, what are the legality of it? Or if you don't have a living will, what happens? That's probably a question people ask. When you don't have a power of attorney or advanced directives or a living will, the things that can happen is that your loved one if your spouse, I'm so sorry, I still have my washer running. Your spouse will be the one to make that decision for you. Unfortunately, we know there are some countries where people have multiple spouses, and then that one that's bringing another issue where if you don't have advanced directives, who's gonna really make that decision? One spouse might say this, the other one might say this, and that creates some chaos where your care you might not receive the best care because there's so much being decided by two people, and then if sometimes if your spouse is not there, if you have older children, the older one will be the one who will be considered to make that decision. If you have no children, your siblings might be the one decided to make those decisions. Sometimes there's those people who have no family members, so they are they are called there's a term they use, they are owned like they are property of the state. That's not the word. They have a guardian, that somebody by the state are responsible of making those decisions. And I have seen it happen that those people make those decisions and say, this is what we can do this is what we need to do for that person. So it's very, very important to do the advanced directives and discuss that with family members. So when you guys meet for holidays, when you have that family gathering, those are the things that you need to talk about and say, have that discussion, like a normal discussion, like the way people talk about politics. Health is something else that we also need to talk about. And the things that we need to talk about is like, what is so important to you? What does it mean? Quality of life to you, what does it mean? What do you feel about death? What do you think when somebody tell you you have 20 days, 30, most people here, you have 30 days to live, you have 60 days to live. What are your thoughts about death? How important are being independent and making decisions for you? So, hey, does it mean, how do you feel about if you can be able to take yourself to the bathroom, get out of bed, walk, feed yourself? You don't have to be fed by tube feeding. You don't have to have somebody to help you to go to the bathroom or clean you, or you have no control of yourself going to the bathroom. Somebody has to be there to clean you up. Do you have any health problems? Do you have a history of probably you're going through cancer, or you have a major cardiac issues or heart issues, or are you going through dialysis? What are your religious beliefs? So for instance, we know they have some religion groups that they don't believe on blood transfusion. So if you lose blood, a lot of blood, will you say, hey, today, although my religion doesn't want this, I still want to have a blood transfusion? People will not say they are this kind, this person is this type of religion and they don't do blood transfusion, so we will give them, no, we're not going to give that person the blood transfusion. But probably they still need blood transfusion. Probably that individual person might want that blood transfusion. The other thing is, if you have severe brain damage, what do you want? If you have severe brain damage, what we call cabbage or brain dead, what do you want? Do you want to live like that? Is that what you want? If you have a way you're not able to breathe for yourself, do you think being helped by the machine and there's no potential of you recovering, do you want the machine to be breathing for you throughout? Or some people can breathe, they have to have a tracheostomy where they have to breathe through their like the neck, and do you want that? Is that what you want? Do you have one? Those are the things you have to discuss with your loved one. And if you are in a permanent coma and there's no potential of you coming back whole in life, what do you want to do? So there's so many things that you have to discuss, and those things can happen if you have really even having a severe motor vehicle accidents. Those are the things that people see their life changes when they have a major accident, and they're like which is very, very common. You see most people, most of the time, you come from a major accident and they're like, their life changes drastically. It's not even where you have been prepared, you know, that you can be able to make those decisions. It just happened drastically, and that's where you give the people the opportunity to be able to make those decisions. So as you meet this holiday, please let us discuss about our health, about our advanced directives. And to those people, now let's go back to kidneys. People who live in dialysis, or who have to get dialysis for them to live. It comes a time, and that's where I have seen it personally. I see it where people haven't been in dialysis for a long time, and they feel they still can make those decisions, but they're also afraid to make those decisions. You know, it's where, or they won't make the decisions, but the family are not letting them make those decisions. You know, it's a little bit, it has to be a little bit hard and depressing for the person themselves. So those are the things you say, hey, you can start writing them down and say, hey, I have been on dialysis, probably you're in dialysis for a certain amount of years, and you are 90. You can say, hey, if I hit 90, I don't want to have dialysis. I want to have a quality of life, or I want to have the life, you know, I know I have lived my life. Those are the things that you talk with the patient. They're like, no, I don't want to do it, you know, but there's that pull, you know. So those are the things that people have to start writing themselves, so that there's not that pull. And even when those people, if you're on dialysis, when you stop, there's still some comfort measures. There's palliative care that people can go through to make sure if that they are coming to end of life, they are getting there comfortably. They are at a comfort situation. They are getting some comfort measures to make them transition to that to the next stage. So I'm here to advocate mostly for kidney health, but I felt this is a topic that most people don't discuss, and we don't, not just most people, you and I, we don't want to talk about it. And that's why I'm encouraging you guys, when we go for our holidays, when we go for our Christmas, when we have New Year gathering, let's talk about those things, and let us encourage each and everyone, because nobody knows about tomorrow. We don't know about what will happen tomorrow, but let people not be there and put the people you care so much about, when they are crying, don't put them into that situation where they have to make those hard decisions, and then they have to live by what if. It's the most thing that you don't want anybody that you love so much or you care so much to live with what if. And that's why I'm calling and bringing this awareness about advanced directives and making those decisions. Thanks again for tuning in and taking your time to watch this. It's very important. And I also apologize that my washer was learning, making a little bit of noise at the background. And till next time, I wish you guys Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And as we meet 2022, we have more topics to talk about. And always, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Please like and share. Until next time, thank you.